Usually Melissa is host, but I'm hosting today. We are recording, so if you do not like to have your image shown, you should stop your video. Let's see. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome to the DP0 Delegate Assembly. We'll have a Allan has offered to give a very interesting presentation on developing Jupyter Notebook Software with ChatGPT. So I was kind of been following in breakout rooms with Allan over the last several weeks on his work with that. It's very interesting, and we hope you'll all find it interesting too. It's nominally a 30-minute presentation, but usually we don't have a second presentation. So if it goes a little bit long, that's all right. We will, we'll have a. I should be sharing screen. Sorry. I'll be share a screen here. We will. We'll start with his presentation shortly, which will not only 30 minutes, but maybe around a little bit longer. We normally have our breakout session starting at 10, but if Allan, but we'll be a little bit, but we may start a little bit sooner if we finish with the questions and so on from the presentation earlier than that. And if it extends beyond that, we'll probably extend. We may have Allan do a breakout room in which have further discussion in a breakout room after that. So this is a slightly old announcement. I think you have all probably done that. If you are an earlier DP0 delegate, you probably went through the process earlier. If you're a new DP0 delegate, you didn't need to do this because you started out with the new login method. But if you haven't been away for a few months and are rejoined and you haven't logged in those few months, you will need to re-log into data.lsst.cloud, and it'll give you instructions. If you're having problems, we can deal with that in the breakouts, or one of the community science team members can help you get that running. Also, there's a reminder, we have a virtual summer school June 12th through 16th, so it'll be all virtual, no in-person attendance, but we'll be going through all the notebooks again, and some of the newer stuff, and the new and some of the newer portal tutorials. You're all invited to sign up. There's a link here. I will stick that in the chat. If I can find my chat. 1 second here, chat. Okay. And I will. I shall stick this whole. Let me see. Let's share this. I'll share the whole. I should have done this earlier. Share the whole presentation, the whole slide deck to the chat. But I also will. Add in specifically this link here for the summer school. And with that, let's see, Melissa, do we have any other announcements?
Only that PCW registration has opened, and that you can find the links to that in the news category on community. I'll go get the link and post it here.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. And also a warning or a caveat, let's say. They are restricting registration to, I believe, to 300 people. And when we last, yes, max is 300. And as of yesterday around 2 p.m. Pacific time, it was at 99 registrants. So be sure to register soon if you are interested in attending the PCW. Okay, let's see. Just another brief announcement. Next week next week at this time we have a Stack Club, our usual Stack Club meeting, which is basically for those who've not attended the Stack Club before, it's basically like the second hour of our DP0 delegate assemblies, but it's the full 2 hours of kind of free form work on whatever you're working on on the notebooks or the portals or your analysis. And we'll have we currently have planned our next delegate assembly for 2 weeks from now. We usually have a delegate presentation. We do not currently have any, for the next few weeks, we do not have any delegate volunteers. And so we definitely welcome, if you have anything you'd like to talk about, we definitely welcome contributions from anyone to discuss what we've been up to for any of these next delegate assemblies. So please, we definitely are eager to hear what interesting work you've been up to. Even if it's not quite finished, updates are also welcome. Oh, someone says that the GitHub says point to a different link. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Maybe Melissa or Greg or Tina or someone can check on that what's going on with the GitHub here. Let's see. Well, actually,
okay. That is the same link. The notebook that you're looking for is the ChatGPT and RSP Jupyter Notebook way at the bottom.
Right. Great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tina.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. So if you just if you do the code up at the top and you just clone the whole delegate contributions DP0.2, you will get it.
Yes, that's correct. Thanks, Tina.
You're welcome. I just did it. So
faster than me. Okay. Yeah. So yes, there's a couple of ways of accessing the because this is not quite the same as previous notebooks. It's a lot more. You'll probably want to have two windows open because we're using a lot of things from Code.com or ChatGPT or Bing. And you'll be cutting and pasting into the notebook. But one easy way is to go into we can just let's see, we can just do this right now. So yeah, you want to log in. And I've actually had mine running. So let's see, and you'll want to let's see, I can make this a little bit larger here. Actually, I'd already done this yesterday, but let me just I'm going to do it a little bit from scratch here. It's very easy. You log into your terminal. I want to go into notebooks. I'm just, for instance here, I'm going to make a temp directory to do this right here. But you can do it in any directory you want. And then since I did this yesterday, you just want to do this git clone. Oh yeah, you want to go to, you'll want to go to GitHub. Not the right one, sorry. The contributions. And you can go to code and choose either HTTPS or SSH and grab that. And then come back here and then you do git clone, then well, basically what's now in your clipboard, yes. And grab that. And let's see. So over here, in my case, I have it in temp and delegate contributions, and you want ChatGPT, and this is what we'll be using. And let's see. Yeah, we describe all this. Oh, the contributions. Okay. Or you can, if you want to, just go here. Hopefully, go here and just save that to your downloads folder or wherever, and then this is the alternate means of grabbing this particular thing, and then you could come here. Well, okay, let's we can do make their temp 2. I go to temp 2 and then temp 2, and you can upload that. Let's see, I don't want screenshots, I want my downloads, and it's the top thing here. And there it is. It doesn't like it. Okay. Why does it like it? Unreadable. Missing a key cells. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but did anyone have any problems doing it with just doing the git clone?
I didn't have a problem with git clone.
All right, anyone else? Okay, in that case, I will now stop sharing screen and I'll hand it over to Allan.
Okay.
All right, Allan, please take it away.
Thanks very much. Okay. All right. Can everybody see this okay? I mean, is the text big enough for everybody? Okay. All right. Basically, you can't help these days but notice that AI chatbots are almost everywhere. I mean, besides, of course, in the Senate and Congress, you see that all major software as a service companies are integrating it into their products. Adobe's putting it into Firefly. Microsoft is putting it into their Office products. Google is putting it into their suite. Google's also entered it into their search engine as well as Microsoft. And Google's is known as Bard, and Microsoft is set up as Bing. Now, the different models we'll be using this morning are listed in this paragraph. I don't know if you folks can see that, where it says Sage model chatbot can be found at https://po.com. In order to run this chatbot, probably the easiest way is to set this particular chatbot up on a separate tab. So you can alternate between your Rubin Science Platform tab and the chatbot tab. It's a little different, this particular notebook. Like Doug said, it's more of a cut and paste. It's not the type of notebook that you would just hit run in the Rubin Science Platform and let it go through and then look at the results piece by piece. And this one, you'll cut a little prompt out. You'll probably cut some text in an adjacent cell, and then those two together, you'll hit run in a chatbot, and then the result will be available for you to paste back into the notebook. Okay, basically, we're going to deal with 10 different uses of ChatGPT today that are relative to the notebooks. And it'll be markdown, code, writing it and interpreting it, data analysis, some natural language use, some interactive and incremental coding. We'll deal with documentation in the notebook, some summarization, some ADQL generation and explanation. Also some human language translation and a translating code between computer languages from, in this case, I think we'll try a Fortran to Python, and then there's an option in the notebook to also translate back into Fortran again, if you need it. Someone said that Melissa might be interested in this. Hopefully that's the case. Also, I think Vincenzo is our specialist on Fortran to Python translation so far. It might be interesting to hear a little bit about what he has to say later on. Let's see. So why don't we, oh yeah, I have to warn you, first of all, if you paste something too large into the chatbots, you may experience what they call hallucination. A symptom of that is that the answer the chatbot gives you may repeat itself over and over several times. That's one type of hallucination. Another one is an incorrect type of answer. If the chatbot doesn't have any specific domain knowledge about what you're requesting, it will make something up. And for that reason, it's probably best that if you have it generate code for you, it's important that you run the code as soon as possible after you paste it into a cell, just to make sure that it actually works. And then if it doesn't, of course, go through a process of iterative troubleshooting to resolve it. You don't want to go through and do an entire notebook of chat-generated code and then find out that it has an error right at the beginning, or it's somewhere in the middle somewhere that you'll have trouble digging out the problems. Another problem that causes hallucinations is tokens. Size limits of different models have different capacity to take inputs and give outputs. And if you exceed tokens in either of those, it'll go into the hallucination mode. So anyway, with that explained, we'll just go down to the first working cell. And basically this is creating and formatting Markdown. And the instruction there is in red. You just copy and paste this prompt. And what we'll get a little better at this morning, we should get better at, is what they call engineering prompts or prompt engineering. And basically what you do is you cut the line for the instructions. This is a prompt line. You go to a chatbot like Poe and Sage. This is the Poe chatbot. I don't know if anybody's had time to actually get that up on their screen yet, but basically what you do with Poe is you pick one of the models over on the left side. We go with this Sage model, which is free, by the way. Some of these others have fees associated with them, so you might be a little careful about using those. You paste in the prompt line, and this says, this prompt just says, as an expert in Markdown format, please convert the following standard text into Markdown formatted text. I'll do it.
So Alan, maybe let's take a short break here and make sure, see if everyone's gotten onto Poe.com. I know when I did it, I had to give an email, put an email address, which they sent a code that I could log into Poe. Let's make sure that this way. Just wait. Let's check for a minute. Has everyone gotten into Poe.com and had any? There's been. So I see a thumbs up from several people.
Okay.
Any problems? Right. Okay. It looks like fine. If you do run into problems, put a message in the chat, and we'll try and someone will try to get back to you. One of the team members will try to get back to you. Okay. Thanks, Alan. Please proceed. Thanks, Doug, for putting that in there. Yeah, you don't have to use Poe necessarily, but we found that it's pretty good. You can also use the Bing chatbot that's available from Microsoft. Bing, surprisingly enough, has the same model in it that's in ChatGPT 4. And the GPT-4 model on the OpenAI website, if you use that, I'll show that a little bit later. There's a $20 a month charge for that. So you can use the same thing if you just go into Bing and set the Bing for a most creative mode. If you set for most creative, then you'll get the equivalent, the $20 equivalent. Okay, so I'm hitting Shift Enter just to move down one line, and then I go back to Rubin, and for the instructions, the red instructions, I cut the text that I'd like to convert to a Markdown, and then I paste that in to the same chatbot window, and then hit Enter or hit the purple arrow down here. Now, the large view window that came up is just the side of the chat. It's my side of the chat that I put into the bot, and then it in turn generated, still in the process of generating, the Markdown code to paste back into the to paste this back into the notebook. And although it doesn't look like Markdown code, let me do a quick paste back in there. Okay, that doesn't look like Markdown code at all. So we'll go back in there, and this time we'll tell the bot to specifically okay, so this time, in fact, it did generate the
markdown code, and we should be able to cut and paste this back into the notebook and run it. Okay, looks correct. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a quick copy of that. Okay, it's copied. Go back into the notebook. Let's see. And this, by the way, should this should be a markdown cell before you paste it in. See if it accepted it as a. Let me give
It looks formatted.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
There's-
The formatting.
There's formatting, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's given it bold in there, and it's the numbered text is legible. I don't know. I would encourage you to try different markdown cells that you haven't had a chance to format, and go through and use these cut and paste these prompts into the chatbots and give them a try in other environments. Okay, right. Let's just go on to the next cell. And this one is dealing with code generation and explanation. So basically what this is going to do, it's supposed to generate a Jupyter cell with the import statements that are required for AstroPy, NumPy, Pandas, etc. And to do it in a step-by-step fashion. So basically what it says is copy the prompt, paste it into the chatbot. And just hit enter. And in theory, or the purple arrow in this case with Poe. And so in fact, what it's doing is generating code, and it's not very much, but it looks like it would work all right. At least in my opinion, it looks like it'll work. You can verify it very quickly by pasting it back in the notebook, and then just running it to make sure it doesn't have any errors. Yeah, and it executed okay. 3 milliseconds, that's good. But it doesn't have to be just import statements. You can use it in much more elaborate code generation. And of course, I'd encourage you to do that. We'll go on to the third one, data. Are there any questions on the second, on the code generation? It's not, okay, then the third one is a little bit of data analysis, and it's going to do some more code generation for us quickly. Probably one of the most valuable things about the notebook is that it gets you started in prompt engineering. And surprisingly, your selection of wording for the chatbots has a great deal to do with what the quality of the output that you get. And of course, you can see with the chatbot, you get an explanation of the code also. You can cut it, paste it back into the notebook, and then run it, see if it runs okay. Oop, you got an error. Import iris. Okay, well, this probably, the iris data set is actually probably in scikit-learn. See if we can.
Mine worked.
Oh, did yours work? Yeah.
It did, yeah. It had
That's
some
interesting.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you could just go back and say, regenerate this. Or another thing you can do is you can paste the error that you just, like I just received. Many times you could just grab this error, paste it back into the bot, tell the bot that in fact it made a boo-boo on it, and turn it loose. Well, I don't think this is probably the right way to do it. Pip install Iris. I think your Iris is, your code is just a little bit different than mine.
Do you want me to share my screen real quick so we can show the results?
Sure, let me unshare.
Oh,
And then
sorry.
let's see how yours came out. Hang on, I have to get to the,
Yeah, it looked like my code looked different from yours,
yes,
but
it makes sense. And I'll show you how the code works also on ChatGPT, just to get back to Zoom. Stop the share. Okay, if you want to share yours real quick.
okay. It's cool. That's why I suggested it. So,
Wow, yeah,
You
you
see,
got a
okay,
lot better. Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of commented stuff, and then got this nice table, a nice graph, and then all of these graphs were
Yeah.
generated as well.
It really did a nice job for you.
It did, yes, it
Yeah.
did. So, okay.
Well done. Very nice. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. So
I was excited when it came up.
yeah, I know it's the funniest thing. You know, it's
Oh, Tina, can you show yours again quickly? Maybe Alan can see where the differences are in the coding.
right. Well, yeah, she's got a lot more imports there. She's got Seaborn that's gone in. She's got Matplotlib. I don't recall if I got that in. And she got the big key statement is the Iris, load the Iris data set, which is Iris, you know, SNS, right? It got it from the Seaborn and imported the Iris database. That was a key missing part in mine. We can put it into another chatbot. Not to spend too much time on it, but we can put it into a different chatbot and see if we get a different result. And that's also a good way to work too. If you have more than one chatbot open, you can do that. Like in this case, we'll go back, cut and paste the. Well, first let me paste the error into this bot. See if it apologizes. Oh yeah, it did apologize last time. Yeah, it just says the Iris is not installed. Ah, well, it's okay. Let me go back and cut the prompt again.
I have a question that might sound a little conspiracy theorist-ish.
Okay, sure.
Did it generate different code for me because I have different software on my computer? Or
I don't think so.
okay, all right.
It's, you know, basically a chatbot is a large language model, and it's been trained on billions of tokens of text, and so there's a certain randomness to it. If I was to input a prompt and then shortly later, well, I have it generate some code and then tell it very shortly to and tell it to generate the same code again, it'd give me a different, it could give me a different code output. Excuse me. Yeah. All right.
So how are others doing? Any
Yeah. Yes.
everyone did others get plots or hit errors?
mine is working, it's generating some plots, but it seems to be different with respect to the ones that Tina showed.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is. Yeah, what I'm
Okay.
doing here on the screen is I'm putting the same prompt into chatGPT 4, and we'll run that and see if it gives us anything like
All right, I'll suggest that we'll do this, and then if that doesn't work, we may continue on,
Sure,
since I know you have a lot of
absolutely.
interesting things and a
Right.
lot of different, and we only have about say 23 minutes left before we switch over. Of course, we can always continue on with in a for things that we miss in a breakout session.
Correct. Right. No error this time. And the ChatGPT 4 went along and generated a series of box plots, basically. It didn't give as nice a job as the Seaborn output that it did for Tina, but yeah, it's okay. At least it generated some better code than what it did for me the first time. So you can see you get different results on different chatbots. I think after you do this for a little while, you'll get a favorite chatbot that you prefer to work with, or a favorite pair of chatbots. All right, I think your concern is justified here, and that we may be getting behind the clock. Let's see, this particular one, task number 4 is basically we're going to cut and paste the prompt in the next line and the text in the following cell, which is a large piece here, to get the chatbot to identify topic modeling, which means it'll go through there and grab specifically what the context of the text is about. I'll go back to Sage, paste it in there, and then what it'll want is the actual text that's in here that we're going to pull the context out of. Okay, and this is basically what it believes what the topics that the article deals with is variable stars, the different surveys and detections that's in the text, and the methods in detection and classification in there. So it's sort of it's giving you a tabular sort of summarization of what's inside there. You could do this with any other academic article. You'd have to probably do it in like a page at a time, because there's a certain token limit, but it can be done and gives you kind of an interesting output, like in this case. So I'd call this a success. Let's go on to number 5. Oh yeah, sorry. Any questions on 4? Yeah. Well, go on to the interactive programming, and this is like this is just an exercise in reiterative prompting. Basically, it's you encourage the chatbot to generate some code for you. This is probably how you'd work on a regular day-by-day basis. It would generate some code for you, and then you could paste the code in and run it. But if you examine it on first look, there may not it may not be up to your speed, not speed, but it may not be up to a standard that you like. Basically, what it's telling you here is, this was interesting, yeah. It gives you code back that you'd run it, see if you like it. I think in this particular case, it's something similar to what Bob and I did a few weeks back, which it generates code that interfaces with the interfaces with you. You can put inputs into it, but say if you're not really happy with the code, you'd probably give it a prompt like this. You know, can you offer a suggestion to make the code more efficient? You know, it'll probably regenerate it, give you some decent code. Not very decent. Yeah, I wouldn't call that a win. At this point, I just tell it to regenerate in a single cell. Yeah. You could ask it to redo it as a lambda.
You asked for more efficient again. It didn't copy
Oh,
the
did
right
I-
thing. Yeah, it
Did I
didn't
paste
copy the right
wrong
thing.
in? Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you ask it to tell you, oh, yeah, right, okay, here. So the last one is, what is the most efficient code of the ones that it generated for us? And then it'll tell you very likely whether or not one runs much slower than the others, or if it's just less efficient. Okay, and so this is the most efficient implementation out of the ones that we put in together. Basically, what you would do is you'd cut and paste this back into the notebook and run it at that point. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Let's see. Right, and this is an example of commenting code. Basically, you paste in a prompt. Sorry. Paste in a prompt. You paste in some code that you want commented, and then you turn it loose on that. And this, of course, the purple again is my input, and then not very highly commented, but yeah. Okay. So it's explaining what's going on inside. It must be very near the token limit because it's slowing way down. Just tell it to re-put it into one cell. And basically what you do at this point is just cut and paste this cell when it's complete back into the notebook. And you say, well, could probably have typed those comments in as fast as this, but who knows? Basically, you'd take it, cut it back into the notebook, and then probably run it. I suspect this code would run very well, but I don't know, for the sake of time. Yeah, was there a comment?
Yes, please. Can I make a question? And
Sure.
in this case, the answer I am getting is providing me an explanation of what all the commands are doing, more than providing a commented cell for each of the lines.
Mhm. Well, you can ask it to regenerate it and submit it as a single cell, a single code cell, and it should put it back into a single code cell that works. I mean, we can run this.
It is in one. It is in one cell. But the point is that the text is like, the purpose of this code is to query, and I break down the code. This command is for this. This command is for that. It's not like a comments for the commands of the notebook. I mean.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, there's a couple of ways to resolve that. You could change the prompt a little bit, or you could. Do you want to share your screen, and then maybe we could figure out an easier way to change it? I can.
Okay, please. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'll stop sharing, and then if you want to share your screen, we could take a look at the code.
Yes. Do you see my?
Right, and there's the result. Oh, I see. Yeah.
It
Right,
is like
so it gave you.
it's explaining rather than providing me the code with the comments.
Right. So you could just type down on the bottom there something like, please regenerate this as a single Jupyter code cell.
Yes. Okay, I will try like that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. That it should work for you, I would think. Okay, let me get back to sharing here. Okay, so anyway, that code that we commented, it ran. It looks like it ran successfully. It came back with the head of some 39,000 rows of data from the Vizier catalog. Yeah, grabbed a bunch of Gaia data, and I guess at this point you'd wade into it and start doing what they call exploratory data analysis, and getting rid of columns and stuff that you didn't want to use anymore. Anyway, we're down to the last three of these guys. Summarization. Yeah, this is an interesting one here, and yeah, probably the best way to do summarization is to use a chatbot like Bing. And the reason I mention this is Bing has the ability to go out and navigate the internet, and it has a chatbot on top of that. These days, that's a relatively new skill for chatbots. If you were to go on here and get Bing going by probably clicking on this and getting it on a new tab, and if you copy and pasted this into Bing, in theory, it should give you a summary of this this academic paper. I mean, we could do that. We can try and do that real quick.
I
Hopefully
got it.
don't-
It looked like
Oh,
it
you have-
did it for me in Poe.
Oh, it did it in Poe, really?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, it gave me
didn't know that.
something. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
right, but it gave me something.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It
interesting.
looks like when I go to Bing, it's asked me to download Microsoft Edge. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Right,
Okay.
right. It runs in Edge, and so basically you'd have to copy the prompt. You'd have to open it up. I don't know if this will try and open Bing up, right? Okay. Let's see. The new Bing, learn more. Open in Edge, right?
I did it in Bing, and I think the Bing summary is much better.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I
that-
did it in
that's
both.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's much better in Bing.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, right now, I'm running an anonymous web part of the web browser on Chrome, and it's a long story, and so it won't open up Edge for me. It just doesn't do it. So I won't be able to demonstrate that right now.
Maybe Tina could demonstrate on using Edge.
Oh, yeah. Let me quit sharing and see if she can show the difference between the two.
Well, actually, I think Poe was completely wrong now that I'm looking at it. Okay, hold on. Soon I
Oh, you
can
don't
show
like-
you.
Hang on, let me.
Yeah, I mean, I
quit
can show
sharing.
you the difference.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
Oops. Okay, so this is what I got with Bing. Can you summarize the
Mhm.
following paper?
Mhm.
Catalog of known variable and non-variable objects for that. And then in Chrome, gave me some sort of thing on card games and AI. So I think the
Oh,
Bing one
look
was
at that.
way more accurate.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
since
Just
I don't think
exactly.
that paper's on
Right.
card games. Anyway,
Right.
so yeah,
What you're seeing is probably a hallucination. This is an example of when it's just giving you data to make you happy.
so it did. Okay, so this one doesn't have the ability to do that, but Bing does. Okay,
Yes. Bing does have that. And
very nice. Okay.
yeah, I would encourage you to use Bing as often as possible, especially if you want to go out and if you don't have time to search through academic papers, this is a reasonable shortcut to use Bing. Use this prompt, just put the paper, the URL for the paper in there, let it go out, give you the summarization, and see if it's the kind of data that you're interested in. You can even elaborate in your prompt later on, where you cut and paste. Like, remember when we did the summarization a few cells back, and it went through and it looked for key topics and things like that. You can have it look for key people, organizations, other papers, references. You can have it scrape out the references and put it into something that you can use later on. I don't know if it'll put it in the form of URLs that you can go out and check, but at least you have access to all the data that's in the paper. And I can talk to that a little bit later if I don't run out of time. I got like 4 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we can do that in a breakout session.
Sure, that's a good idea.
Well, let's see. Yeah,
Let
see
me
your
just
other.
I'll open to questions if there's any questions real quick before I close it down. Like I said, the actual see, I'm not sharing right now, am I?
No, not at the moment.
No, right. Oh, I did want to mention that very quickly about the about the translating from Fortran to Python and back and forth. Vincenzo, did you have anything prepared on that, or let's see? If not, we just run the cell real quick from the notebook. Yeah, this is just ADQL for astronomy. You could get it to run ADQL. You can get it to generate ADQL, and you can get it to reverse engineer ADQL for you also. And the code language, the last one down here was the one where what we did was we ran this code quickly in Poe. Basically, we pasted it in. Oh no. I just closed my notebook. I'm sorry. Well, anyways, we pasted the data in, and in fact, what it did was a quick translation from Fortran to Python, and then the last cell allows you to go back to Fortran from Python, so you can go back and forth. And
maybe so Tina's definitely keeping up and going even a little faster than the rest of us. Maybe she could maybe if she shared her screen, you can go through that.
I'll stop.
Since you accidentally closed your notebook, I think
Right.
Tina, could you show your notebook?
I can possibly. So, but you'll have to tell me what I was playing with Bing, and so are we in 8?
Yes.
Would you like me to, okay, 8? You would like me to, oops, hold on. I didn't ask the right thing yet.
Yeah, you have to stick a
Okay,
prompt
do
in there
that first.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things open. Okay, so I do this, and then I come back and ask. Oops.
Yeah, I think you have to post them both in the same
hold on.
Bing cell.
Ah. So I did it. Okay, stop. Oops.
Yeah, I did that. I did that. I was checking Allan's code yesterday. Okay. So you just had to kind of wait for it to finish, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So
then,
there, and now I copy this. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm back on track.
Underneath it, yeah.
I got distracted with Bing asking it. Oops. Oh, is it not done yet?
It's not done yet. It takes a while. Yeah. From what I found.
Oops. Okay.
And you might want to add a space before the oops. Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good. Nice job.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
okay.
So
right. Right. So it's right. It's commenting your ADQL. Right. That's the one. Right. Oh, okay.
Mine seems to break things up a lot.
Right. And then you just have to type in, please integrate it into a single cell.
Well, when I did it the second time, before, like one of the first examples, I just ran it twice, and the second time it did it, it put it all in one cell. So.
Oh, okay, good.
As you said, it'll change every time, but anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now these chatbots are a lot more robust than they were even 2 months ago. They do much better, and I suspect, and they have hobbles on them, and the hobbles are basically there to keep people from typing in inappropriate requests, hate speech, et cetera, and so basically they slow the chatbots down, and they make them less efficient in generating code. I noticed they've been slowly pulling these off, because the code generation is getting much better month by month. And anyway, so at this point, I should just wrap it up and encourage people to go ahead and finish the notebook on their own if they're so inclined, and turn the floor back over to Doug.
All right. First, so Allan, you wouldn't mind if we have a breakout room where we continue this? Sure. Okay. Sure. But before that, any questions on what for Allan?
This was fun. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome,
Yes,
Tina.
this
Thank
was,
you.
yes, it was very nice.
Very
This was-
interesting.
all right, let's see. Do I say no questions? Oh, there's something, maybe something in the,
Oh, Sarah said something. Yeah.
okay, yes.
Thank you,
So
Sarah.
yes, it's, so thank you, Alan. This is very, very good. We may ask you back for future discussions on using ChatGPT and other things.
Yeah, there's a lot of new things coming down the pike, and I can talk to that in the breakout room.
All right. So let's see. Thank you, Melissa. Reminds me, I can turn. I'm now a host, and I can now stop recording. Okay.
Right. Good move.